Hey gang, this is Dave Littlejohn. We've got our question of the week. This is a follow-up from last week, so you may want to revisit that one. One of the things, the question I get a lot of the time is, how much money does it take to retire? And so we talked about the two different scenarios. One of them is, well, what if I have a nest egg and I just want to spend the interest, and so I don't ever want that nest egg to decline, right? I'm just going to just spend the interest only, and in our example, I think we're saying, well, what if I wanted $4,000 a month? How do you figure that out? Well, safe withdrawal rates are debatable, but if you use the assumption that we could earn approximately 4%, then it turns out the shortcut is to just take whatever my monthly income need is and multiply by 300. Okay, so in the case of our example, monthly of $4,000 a month of income times 3,000 or 300, right? And that is going to equal $1.2 million. And a lot of people will look at that and they will go, that's a big number. How am I going to get there? Well, here is another little trick. See, you don't necessarily really have this happen. A lot of people end up spending down over time. And what will happen is you'll spend a little money and then your account earns a little bit of interest, and then you'll spend some more and it'll earn a little bit of interest and you'll spend some more, and you get the idea. It's sort of this zigzag down as you take distributions over time. It's still earning, but you keep stepping down until at some point you're done, and so is your money, right? You get down to zero here, and so you spend it all. That's the issue. So that's the pathway. Well, how long does that last? And the answer is it depends. And that's why it's not a completely simple, cute little financial hack, but I'm going to give you a general trick. Okay, for a lot of people, when you average out all of the various tax brackets that you're in, you find yourself in an effective tax rate, and let's say you have an effective tax rate of about 15%. Okay, effective tax rate. And the reason is because you may be in the 20% tax bracket. But not all of your money is taxed at 20%, right? Some of it's taxed at 15 or 10 or lower, whatever it is. So effective rate of 15%, and let's say that you can earn 5% annual return, I'll just say. So you can make a 5% annualized return. In that case, how long does it last? Well, typical retirement in America, if you were going to do an average retirement length, ends up being 18 years. So if we want it to last 18 years, then what's the math work out to? Well, I'm going to give you a little trick. Don't worry about figuring out all the fancy math. If you just want a ballpark of how to make your money last 18 years, and you know you're in about a 15% tax bracket and you can make 5% a year, all you have to do is cut the number in half. So take your monthly, right? Monthly income need, multiply that by 150. So in our example earlier, you want $4,000 a month, right? And this is before tax and so forth. But you want your $4,000 a month times your 150. What is it that you actually need? $600,000. Now, that's still a big number. That's half of where we started. And for a lot of people out there that find themselves going, gosh, is retirement even going to be a thing for me? Well, you're a lot closer when you can get to this number than that number. All right. So of course, your personal circumstances are going to be exactly that, personal circumstance. So I would encourage you, there are plenty of online calculators, and by all means, seek out a financial professional that can help you to dial this in. But before you have that panic moment and you think, I'm never going to make it, okay, somewhere between this nest egg, maybe you have pensions, Social Security, other income sources, and one that people oftentimes forget is something like an inheritance. It may be more possible than you think. So there's the numbers as they look. That's their cute little hack. You want to know, how do I make it last forever? That was the 300 number. But about half of that if you can earn kind of a base case scenario. So if you got more questions than that, hit them up in the comments. Send it to info@littlejohnfs.com, or just pick up the phone and call 541-375-0898. Until then, this has been David Littlejohn. Thanks. Catch you next time.